Do you send a lot of emails to prospects and yet the response rate is very, very low? Or let's say you actually send an email and it does get an initial response and then you reply with your follow-up email and then nothing. This is a really common issue that we see where the follow-up email is really where the weak link is in the process. We've got to make sure that our follow-up emails are really engaging, enticing, and are bringing the prospect in the conversation. Having a strong sales follow-up email is going to make a huge difference in ultimately getting that appointment. So in this video, I'm going to show you 7 critical sales follow-up email ideas you must use. Check it out. Number 1, know your entire email process. If you're, let's say, using cold email campaigns where you're sending out a few emails, do you know exactly how many emails you have and what each email is going to focus on? If you're using cold email automation, then chances are you do. But many salespeople don't. They're just kind of haphazardly, randomly sending out emails, and then they're following up when they set a reminder in their calendar to follow up, but they don't have the entire email process mapped out. What you want to make sure is that all of the emails that you're sending, let's say you're sending 5 emails over the course of a month, all of those emails have to be providing value. And so knowing your entire email process that you're going to be sending to each prospect is going to make sure that your sales follow-up emails are so much stronger, because prospects rarely respond to the first email and they're much more likely to respond to one of those later sales follow-up emails. That's why we need to know our entire email process. Number 2, heavy personalization. When it comes to cold email, one of the biggest concerns that most prospects have is, am I dealing with a real human being? Did some just automated bot send me this email? And people don't want to engage with someone who doesn't really demonstrate that it's a real person behind there. That's why heavy levels of personalization in the email just make a huge difference. And so I mean personalization if you have personal details about them that you can get from their LinkedIn profile or from their Facebook profile or from Twitter or whatever it is, or of course work-related personalization details that show that you really understand their organization or what's going on. The more you can personalize those sales follow-up emails, the more likely the prospect ultimately is to respond to what you have to say. Demonstrating that you are a real person is absolutely critical, and it can improve the value that you're demonstrating in the course of the email. Number 3, keep it short. Prospects have very short attention spans. So that means that you don't want to be sending a 7-page email to a prospect. It's just a complete waste of time, and it's actually going to lower the likelihood that they respond, because if they don't even know you, they're not going to read a 300-word essay that was written by you. Keep your sales follow-up emails pretty short. And by that I mean maybe 2, possibly 3 paragraphs, short paragraphs, but even in other cases, even shorter than that. The shorter that you can keep your sales follow-up emails, the more likely they are to respond. Number 4, focus on them. One of the biggest mistakes that we see with sales follow-up emails is that the emails themselves are focused on the salesperson or the organization that they represent. And your prospects don't care about you, and they certainly don't care about your organization. And they don't even care about your offering. So you want to make sure that your emails are really focused on them. How many emails have you sent that lead with something like I am, or we are, or we do this, right? Your prospects don't care about that. As soon as they say we do this, they're like, bam, next email. You've got to focus the sales follow-up email on the prospect, on their world, on what's going on with them, not with you. Number 5, you want to have a strong CACTA. Now you're like, CACTA, what's that stand for? CACTA stands for kick-ass call to action. You want to have a kick-ass call to action in your email. If your call to action in your email is just to hop on a phone call with you or your boss, then chances are your prospect is going to be pretty uninterested in that. But if you can have a kick-ass call to action, a really, really strong call to action, that is something that the prospect actually would be interested in. Maybe it's an audit on what they're currently doing, or something truly of high value that the prospect can say yes to, and they're going to feel like they're getting something of value. Your positive reply rate on your sales follow-up emails is going to go way through the roof. Number 6, close with a question. I can't tell you how many sales follow-up emails I see that end with something like, let me know if you think this would be a fit, or feel free to reach back if you want to connect. It's like, dude, you just sent this whole email and then you're just not even closing with something that's going to engage them. Always close your emails with a question. Something like, does this make some sense to pursue? Or could you see how this might be useful in your organization? Or whatever it is, right? It doesn't really matter, but you want to make sure that you've got a question that's really sucking them in, that they can just say yes to or no to. But you always want to close out your emails with a question. Number 7, pick up the phone. I can't tell you how many times we see people in our community, they send out an email and the prospect replies or doesn't reply and they say, okay, so what should I do next? It's like, get on the phone. You have a phone. If you've got access to their phone number, pick up the phone and just call them right away. That again demonstrates that you're a real human being and you're not just some bot. You are a real person that can just pick up the phone and call them. So picking up the phone is actually one of the most powerful tools that you can use to follow up on your sales follow-up emails in the first place. Be very quick to just pick up the phone if you can. Now, of course, you don't always have access to their numbers, but if you do, be really quick to just pick up the phone and start the conversation there. So there are 7 critical sales follow-up email ideas you must use. If you enjoyed this video, then I have an amazing free training on the step-by-step formula to closing more deals. Just click right here to get registered instantly. Seriously, just click right here. This is an in-depth training that will help you close more deals at higher prices, all while generating more meetings. Also, if you got some value, please like this video below on YouTube and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking my face that should be right about here to get access to a new video just like this one each week.